Field, two guys who had great seasons this year. So who do you trust the most in this big moment, Sunday Night Football, between those two guys?
I'm going to go with Jayden Daniels. And I know that's counter because Baker Mayfield has won a couple of playoff games across a couple of different teams. He's won the division in back-to-back years, and he's second in passing touchdowns this year. Baker has put together a phenomenal year. But Jayden Daniels has been playing playoff football for the last month, right? Since his bye week, this team hasn't lost a game. They're coming into the postseason on a 5-game winning streak. The guys had 3,500 yards, 31 total touchdowns to only 9 interceptions. And when you look at this specific matchup, Todd Bowles and that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, they major in zone coverage, a lot of fire zones, a lot of, blitzing, rushing 5, bringing 4 off of a side, 3 under, 3 deep coverage. Jayden Daniels thrives off of that. Jayden Daniels completes 76% of his passes against zone. He has the second highest QBR against the blitz. So this is a matchup that is tailor-made for Jayden Daniels to take advantage of. And then, by the way, he has the one thing that a defense can't account for, which is a mobile quarterback. Aside from Lamar Jackson, Jayden Daniels is the best runner at the quarterback position in the NFL. So I just think based on the matchup, I trust Jayden Daniels more than I trust Baker Mayfield.
Jayden Daniels has earned that. He's been outstanding in his rookie campaign, and I do not want to take anything away from him, and I'm really excited to see him on this stage. But I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, as you mentioned, CC, consecutive division winner. This is somebody that constantly steps up when his team needs him. He has that grit. He has that toughness. He has that competitive nature. And I look back to week 1, and I know that both teams are very different than when they were week 1. But when you look head-to-head at the matchup between the Bucs and the Commanders in week 1, Baker Mayfield was awesome. He completed 80% of his passes. He had 4 touchdowns. So I'm going to go with the guy that I think we consistently underrate, who's been there, done that, and who knows what the playoffs take, and who played really well against the Commanders when they faced earlier this season. I'm rolling with Baker Mayfield.
Smalls, you know that's not fair.
Because it's week 1?
It's week 1, and it was Jayden Daniels' first game in the NFL.
I'm
That's
still
not
using
fair.
it as
Come on, Smalls.
Hold on. We're doing the same thing with the Packers and the Eagles. We're looking at that matchup to mine data points.
It wasn't either one of those quarterbacks' first game in the NFL. We know that's different.
But it was a neutral field in Brazil.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Okay, that's what we're doing.
No, keep going. Well, can we not use a data point from a previous matchup?
No, we can, I guess.
But not if it's a rookie in the
first game. It's his rookie in his first game in the NFL. So Jayden Daniels is a completely different quarterback than what we saw in week 1. And I guess that's what gives me confidence. The defensive side of the ball for the Washington Commanders, I don't worry about too much, even though we all know that that's the phase of this football team that's probably the weakest. But when you consider Bobby Wagner with Dan Quinn, I mean, two guys that have playoff DNA, they know what it is to compete at a championship level. I just trust that they'll be able to come up with a game plan to throw Baker Mayfield off his square. I believe in that. So I look at this matchup, and I think both quarterbacks will play well, but just based on the style of defense that Todd Bowles runs, I think it's tailor-made for Jayden Daniels to take advantage of.
I think this matchup and the Texans-Chargers are two really interesting matchups because I'll group those two together. Obviously, everybody's going to watch them. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think anyone believes that any of those 4 teams are really going to get to the Super Bowl, right? And it's rare that we have two matchups in the first round like this that like neither team in that game gets to the Super Bowl, and the matchup could still be entertaining. Right, like I want to see Baker Mayfield. We talked all year about how underrated Baker Mayfield is. Let's see him in this spot. Could he maybe make a big run here? I don't think the Commanders can go to the Super Bowl. I don't think the Bucs can go to the Super Bowl.
Hold on. I'm not going to do that to the Bucs. I think the Bucs can get to the conference championship game. I do, and if they can get to the Final Four, then you can't rule out the possibility that they can get to New Orleans. It's something weird about this team, and because they have the experience that they had with Baker last year, because you have a head coach that, has seen what that level of football is about and has come up with a Super Bowl winning game plan in Todd Bowles, I just feel like this Bucs team is one that can be dangerous. They've already beaten the Detroit Lions. They've already beaten the Philadelphia Eagles in the regular season earlier. So I just, when it comes to the teams in the NFC that we expect to play for it all, the Tampa Bay Bucs have beaten them. So I'm not going to eliminate the possibility that they could make a deep playoff run and get to the conference championship game. I don't expect it, but I'm not going to eliminate the possibility. But before you can do that, you got to win one. And this is the one that I'm worried about because I do think it's on the board that the Washington Commanders can upset them because of the unique problems that Jayden Daniels poses for defenses. You just don't see quarterbacks that have that type of ability. And if you don't face it on a regular basis, it's hard to plan for. It's hard to anticipate. And that becomes the problem with this particular matchup with this particular quarterback.
But if they win, okay, and the Eagles win this weekend, and let's say the Rams win, just for argument's sake, they're going to Detroit. Tampa would. I mean, they're not. You're going to pick them to beat Detroit? I know they've done it. But you're going to pick them to beat Detroit again? See, this is what I don't understand. If
they beat Detroit in Detroit week 2.
I get it. Right? Week 2, right? Again, if we're not going to count week 1.
No, I said we're not going to count week 1 with the rookie quarterback.
I get it.
Stop.
Right,
Stop.
but it was Baker versus that defense that I was talking about.
But I guess the question then is, so you trust Jayden Daniels more than Baker in this game?
Yes.
But then also think the Bucs can make a run to the Super Bowl. So then this would be the hardest game that they would play in the playoffs.
I'm not going to say it's the hardest game that they could play. I just think based on the matchup, right? Styles make fights. I think based on the matchup, because Jayden Daniels is a threat with both his arm and his legs, it makes it a lot harder for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense than it would in the other matchups that we've seen them in. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Tonight, we're going to see a big matchup, obviously, Ohio State and Texas. And we've got the Field Pass, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, on ESPN2. Pat McAfee Show, number 8, Ohio State, number 5, Texas. We had a great game last night with Notre Dame winning on a game-winning field goal after a late. Before we get to the Sirianni part of it, are you, Michelle Smallman, I think Packers fan, are you guaranteeing a victory this weekend?
Evan Cohen, I think Patriots fan for now, right?
Yeah, that's actually correct with me.
For now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Packers fan for life over here.
For life.
And what was the question? I was so concerned about dissing you back. I forgot the question.
This is not a rap battle. Are you guaranteeing victory?
I'm not guaranteeing it, but last night I was digging into the Packers' path to victory. And obviously so much of this is going to depend on the health of the quarterbacks. What is Jalen Hurts going to look like after being out in concussion protocol? How healthy is Jordan Love, who's still dealing with that elbow soreness? So that's going to play the biggest X factor as far as I'm concerned. But I keep thinking about how could the Packers have an upset special here? And I think it's one of two ways. First of all, Josh Jacobs special. Make sure that you hit the ground game hard with Josh Jacobs. He's been great for you throughout the entirety of the season. Do not abandon that. Also, this Packers defense has been great all season at causing those takeaways. But in our piece on .com, that was the preview piece for this game, this really popped out to me. So in that first game that the Eagles and the Packers played one another, let's not forget it was on neutral soil in Brazil, and that was a contested game down to the end. So Jalen Hurts hit A.J. Brown for a 67-yard touchdown. Since then, Jeff Hafley's defense got really mad, and they haven't given up a play that big for the remainder of the season. The Packers haven't allowed a team to gain 40 yards or more for the rest of the season. So I'm thinking if Jalen Hurts is still, they're being conservative with him because he's coming out of concussion protocol. Maybe they won't use his legs as much. The tush push might be out of the conversation. So if they're trying to beat Green Bay through the air, maybe that will tip into the favor of the Packers defense just a little.
So let's just say, for argument's sake, Smalls gets her wish and the Packers actually win this game, CC. What then happens to Nick Sirianni, who... What have you said many times? Your favorite pastime is firing Nick Sirianni. Are we going to do this again? Because success, what does it look like for the Eagles? Because it's not a loss in the first round, right? Some of these teams, if the Broncos lose in the first round, we could still argue it's a successful season. There's no argument with the Eagles. Commanders, you can make that argument. What happens then? Let's play this out. Packers beat the Eagles. Has Nick Sirianni done enough to silence all the noise?
I think it's on the table. I mean, we're talking about tying the franchise best record.
All right, his mic's not working.
Your mic's not working.
Your mic's not working.
All right, let's go.
No, that's good. I think Nick Sirianni probably clipped his mic.
Yeah.
Didn't want to hear the slander.
While you were afraid to guarantee a victory, Pat called you a coward. As an Eagles fan, he said.
And why do you direct? Wait, Nuno. This is poor producing by you. And Nuno's excellent at what he does. Nuno, the moment Michelle gives her mic to CC, you then direct the question to Michelle?
Michelle. That makes no sense.
It would have been easier for Canty to reach underneath the table and grab the extra mic.
That is true. You could have done that.
Okay, well, why don't I do that right now then?
All right, so then why don't you answer the question that he asked you, which I already forgot what it was.
Michelle, Pat called you a coward for not guaranteeing the victory because that's what you want to do. If you're such a big Packers fan, guarantee. Pat's also trying to recoup his
I
money.
would like to make it very clear that Nuno sat in the back of the room and screamed, "Call her a coward!" And I said no. So now he's just trying to start something.
Well, Pat, should we have a little wager on the line?
Look, I'm out $100 in steak
No, he already
money,
lost
Michelle.
money last night with the steaks.
Yeah.
No, he already owes me and my wife a steak dinner.
Yeah,
doesn't
you
have to
will
be-
get $100 worth of steak money.
Thank you.
Okay, I look forward to seeing what sort of steaks
Wait a
Pat
second.
sends
Wait
you.
a second. He
But it doesn't
said
have
that-
to be monetary, Pat.
You said that very specifically. The actual meat and meal, that's a steak, right?
He will be able to buy steaks with $100.
Yeah, there's a I could hear it. There's like that.
He doesn't want to play for the entire meal. He doesn't want to
No,
pay
there's
for the
something he's
wine.
doing.
Well,
I can tell.
we agreed on $100.
I
I
can
think
tell.
that was
We
fair.
agreed on $100.
Here.
$100 steak dinner. Yeah, we agreed on that.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
very
and you will
interested.
get
Better
that
make sure
at
you
some
get
point
that.
during the show.
Oh, I will absolutely.
Oh, wait,
Listen,
during
I don't
the
play
show.
about my food. I don't play about my food.
We're going to
yeah.
get that during the show today.
Yeah, you'll receive it during the show today.
There we go.
Something's fishy here.
Something's up.
Yeah. Isn't steak like that's the?
He's being very cryptic.
It's like a website with that. Like, isn't that the? Is it? Anyway, keep going. There's something weird with steak.
I don't know where you're going.
No,
with
it's
that.
not bad. It's nothing bad. Why would I bring up something bad like that? Jeez. Go ahead. Anyway, Sirianni.
Yeah, like I said, like I said, it's on the board. You're talking about him tying the franchise best record with 14 wins this season. We often ask the question, when is it going to get better for Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia with the talent that he has to work with? Also with the play callers that he has on both sides of the ball, Kellen Moore, their OC, Vic Fangio, their DC. It feels like the perfect confluence of events where you would be able to make a deep playoff run.
Yeah.
And
So pleased to have you along. This should be a good one. We're set, and off we go here on EA Sports. On the return, here comes Cordero Patterson. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. So they come to the line for first down and 10. Now a first carry for the Alabama product, Najee Harris. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. On first down, right back to Harris. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's second down. They'll give it to Harris again. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Another run here with Harris. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down. They're going to run out of the gun, and here's Harris. He'll pop this ahead for about 4, but it will set up third down. Out of the gun, here's Russ. That is caught! And he will get into the end zone. Calvin Austin. Touchdown, Steelers. Chris Boswell on for the point after. It's up and good. And the Steelers will take a 7-0 lead. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. This kick is fielded in the end zone, but no move to bring it out. It's touchback, and that ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Right to the air goes Daniels. They try to set up the screen, but this one doomed from the start. It's incomplete. They'll try again here, second and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. Luke McCaffrey, the intended receiver. Now it's going to be third down. From the shotgun on third down, Daniels. 15-yard pickup there. First down, Washington.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance.
Off he goes.
Now on third and forever, he'll look to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. A final shot before break. Daniels slings this deep from McLaurin. And got his man complete. He's to the 15. And he's in for the touchdown.
Because it is so simple. It's something that these two have done and thrown together for years and years. Maybe not to each other, but since Pop Warner. They've been running the go route. Just run right by him, and if you're even, you're leaving, and I'm going to drop it right over the top.
Now to throw. And the conversion is no good as that pass falls incomplete.
Going to be a little armchair quarterback after that call. Looked like the defense knew exactly what was coming.
You know, time making this all but impossible, but they're going to try for the onside kick here anyway. And this is going to be covered up by the Commanders. That should just about lock up the win. Washington finishes the return to the end zone. Touchdown! The Commanders picked up the fumble and ran it home.
He gets it to go, and the Commanders will move out to a 14-7 lead. Seibert now following the touchdown. He's out to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from his own end zone. Not much on the return. They'll stop him at the 17. Boy, some bulk in the formation on that right side here for 1st and 10. A play fake. Now it's he fumbled the football. And the defense has it. And there it is. The defense comes up with the big...
Robinson will score. Touchdown, Commanders. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Daniels going to try and throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he will get into the end zone, and a two-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game.
Here's Eckler. And he's brought down for a loss. The Commanders in the hurry up. They're hustling for the line. To throw. That's complete. Here's Brown. And they bring him down. Looks like he got it to the 27. Here he is to throw. Someone got a piece of that downfield throw, but it is caught anyway. And that's a Washington touchdown. So there's part one, Brock. They get the touchdown that they desperately needed. Now you'd imagine comes a try for two.
Yeah, and this might be just as tough as to go get that touchdown they just did because, well, they work on two-point conversions, but they're difficult.